The issue of human trafficking, particularly the buying and selling of human bodies, represents one of the most egregious violations of ethics, law, and human rights in our contemporary society. This modern form of slavery manifests in various disturbing ways, including organ trafficking, forced prostitution, forced labor, and other exploitative practices. Vulnerable populations, such as women, children, the impoverished, and migrants, are often the primary targets of criminal organizations that perpetrate these heinous acts. Organ trafficking is a particularly alarming aspect of this issue. Individuals are often deceived or coerced into selling their organs, a process that frequently involves intricate international crime networks. The desperation of those living in poverty can drive them to make perilous choices, believing that selling a kidney or a liver might offer a way out of their financial struggles. However, the reality is often far grimmer, as they find themselves trapped in a cycle of exploitation with little to no control over their own bodies or futures. Similarly, forced prostitution remains a pervasive form of human trafficking. Many women and children are lured into this dark world under false pretenses, only to find themselves coerced into sexual servitude. The psychological and physical trauma inflicted upon these individuals can be profound and lasting. The stigma surrounding sex work further complicates their plight, often leaving them isolated and without support when they attempt to escape their circumstances. Forced labor is yet another manifestation of this crisis. Individuals, often seeking better opportunities, can fall victim to traffickers who promise jobs but instead subject them to grueling work conditions, unpaid labor, and severe abuse. These workers are stripped of their rights and dignity, treated not as human beings, but as commodities to be exploited for profit. The impact of such exploitation extends beyond the individuals involved. It destabilizes communities and undermines the very fabric of society. The exploitation of children in sexual trafficking is one of the most heart-wrenching aspects of this issue. Children are abducted, deceived, or sold into a world of sexual exploitation where their innocence is shattered. The psychological scars left on these young victims can last a lifetime, affecting their ability to form healthy relationships and integrate into society as they grow older. The consequences of human trafficking are dire, not just for the victims, but also for society as a whole. The erosion of moral values, social instability, and the burden placed on healthcare and welfare systems are all critical issues that arise from this pervasive problem. Communities suffer when individuals are dehumanized and exploited, leading to a breakdown of trust and social cohesion. Addressing human trafficking requires a multifaceted approach. Education is paramount. Raising community awareness about the realities of trafficking and how to prevent it can empower individuals to protect themselves and others. Support systems for victims are essential, providing them with psychological, medical, and legal assistance to help them rebuild their lives. Moreover, countries must implement strict laws and regulations to punish traffickers effectively, sending a clear message that such crimes will not be tolerated. International cooperation is also crucial in combating human trafficking. Countries must work together to dismantle transnational crime networks, sharing intelligence and resources to bring perpetrators to justice. Organizations like the United Nations, through initiatives such as UNODC and the International Labor Organization, play vital roles in supporting these efforts. Non-governmental organizations, including Anti-Slavery International and the Polaris Project, are instrumental in providing direct assistance to victims and advocating for systemic change. Ultimately, the fight against human trafficking requires a collective commitment from governments, international organizations, and individuals within communities. It is a challenge that demands vigilance, compassion, and unwavering determination to ensure that the dignity and rights of every human being are upheld. Ending the trade in human bodies is not just a legal obligation, it is a moral imperative that calls for action from all corners of society.